Most people are broke.
How often do people fake wealth?
All the time.
Like, what are the ways that you can spot real versus fake wealth? Can you immediately tell if someone's actually
Yeah,
wealthy?
absolutely.
But are there tells when someone walks in, talks to you?
What is this guy's name? I see him on Instagram everywhere.
could-
So editor me here. I found his name. His name is Trax NYC. There's clips of him going around everywhere right now of him absolutely losing his shit.
Money, motherfucker! Bracelet, where's my money? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Tell this guy's full of
I just saw him a few days ago just fucking being mad as fuck about his money.
Yeah.
And what are those tells?
I don't even listen to the words, man. I listen to the energy. It's as soon as I hear speech that's like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody come in, oh yeah, man. Oh, I like this and this is this. And I'm just like, just shut the up, bro. Get the out of here. You know what I'm saying? I walked into your home, man. And I comment your art. You wait till you see the hallway. It's an informational exchange. You know what I'm saying? The information resonates. All right, it resonates. The vibrations go into the eardrum and into the brain, and it's
Well,
like,
he is
oh,
a
okay,
salesman, so he's
this
gonna know
makes
for sure.
sense. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you're doing. This is the book I read. This is the book, you know, your Goosebumps collection or whatever. This is your favorite. There's a back and forth exchange that's building a relationship. That's building positivity. If I came in there and I said, yeah, I have a better one.
It's like relatability, to be honest. That's what it is. Because with a lot of wealthy people, you know, like he mentioned art, they can relate to certain pieces. And if someone's into art, obviously that's something that a lot of rich people buy. That's something that they can relate to.
What would you think, bro?
I'd want to see a photo of it.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
you would want to see a photo on, or you would this and that. But
Yeah.
still, even if I did have a better one,
Yeah.
why wouldn't I say something positive? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Why play some stupid game? You know? So this is kind of my experience of it. As people come up to me all the time. I got a jewelry store. You know what I'm saying? There's no gate to get through. They walk inside and they say, I have this. And I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I might be judging people incorrectly. But they might say, I have this idea, or this, or I want that, or I want this. And I'm just listening to them like, yeah, go speak to over there. But if it resonates and someone is saying something that
I mean, there you go.
inside my mind isn't annoying me, then I'm starting paying attention. And, you know, some people lift you up and inspire you, and some people put you down. And I'm sensitive to the feeling. I'm not even focusing on the words. I'm sensitive to the feeling. That's what
Right.
it is to me.
What about clothing and flexing and watches and stuff like
It's a big thing. I saw a salesman at Ferrari talking about people always trying to come in with designer brands and clothes, and typically they'll just ask to test drive the cars but won't actually buy them. People that do buy the cars like to dress more like business casual or not as flashy in a sense.
that? Can you, because I've heard that if you eclipse like a real crazy level of wealth, you start wearing like kind of dragged old clothing. Like
Yeah.
like
Adam Sandler. There you go. I was about to say Adam Sandler.
and a lot of
Yeah.
like Shia
You
LaBeouf.
stop having to
Yeah.
prove
Yeah.
anything.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to prove anything when you've been in a million movies.
Okay, sure. Well, what about other people? Do you notice like a correlation at all with like the
I feel like there could still be a lot of like rich people out there that they don't care what other people might think, but they still like designer clothes. You know, like I feel like if I had millions, I would still be buying Jordans, to be honest. Probably reps, but I'd still be buying them because I like the way they look. You know, I'm into clothing, so it's not necessarily to show off to other people and say like, hey, I got money. You know, it's like I actually like the clothes. You know, but I'm not gonna go drop $1,000 or anything above like $500 for a shirt or a jacket or something unless it's very high quality. But in that sense, the highest quality you'll get is like Carhartt or something, like very blue collar work clothes, not something that just has a sticker on it with the brand like Gucci or any designer brand.
actual physical appearance
Yeah,
of like very wealthy people versus not?
Not often. This one guy that I know, he's got a collection of Ferraris.
Right.
And but he likes to dress with the nice shit, and he's wearing Richard Meals, and he's doing his thing.
Well, there you
know
go.
what I'm saying? And he was the CEO of a Sharpie, you know, the marker, or brought that to market. You know, made serious money. You're talking about $500 million altogether, or something like that. The guy shows money, but he wants to be fit, wants to look good. Take a look at Jeff Bezos. He was doing Amazon, you know, let's get that picture of him in his purple eggplant Halloween costume. But as soon as he made that money, he said, what the fuck am I going to do at Amazon all day long? And, you know, tinkering with this shopping cart button. Got himself a yacht, got jacked, got himself a side chick, and whatever.
Be chilling.
What about
That's what I would do. I mean, shit, once I make all my money and I have anything above like $15 million that I could spend 100K a year, that's 15 mil, that's 150 years. If you spend 100K a year, you'd be set. I mean, some people use their ability of wealth to get into politics because they start feeling like they lose that power, which is why you see a lot of rich people say like, oh, I don't feel happy. And then you're like, how do you not feel happy when you have all that money? Well, it's because they start feeling like they can't buy power. You know, when you first start buying things with money, it feels like you have power. But you get to a point where when you have so much money, you don't know what to do with. Nothing else is really changing. It's not fulfilling your purpose, you know? So they start getting into politics and they start changing things, and that's why they keep grinding. Of course, people like Elon Musk, if he wants to keep seeing his company succeed, there's those types of people as well, very ambitious. But I feel like if I had a 15 mil or above, I'd be chilling. I'd go buy myself a house, start investing, buy the 1 or 2 cars I want, and just go do whatever I want with my life.
Elon though? Because he still has the tiny home. He doesn't have any fancy cars. He like. What do you
Mr.
think
Beast,
about the
too.
difference of someone maybe?
He don't even have a house.
Yeah, sure. I mean, a
Just works
star
all
is
day.
a star. The man is, the man is a star, so it doesn't really matter. If the women looked at him like he was a loser, she would put something on, bro. But the knows he's got
Right.
all the money in the world, and she's googly-eyed smiling.
Oh,
Okay,
because
that's
he's
how
like the
women
most
are,
famous person too.
all right?
They're gonna know.
That is the name of the game, and if you get the impression across, it's way more helpful. Sure, you could be humble, like John the Baptist, eating locusts and dry honey, in the desert. But that's a different dimension.
So it's interesting. When I was working as a real estate agent, I'd host open houses every single Sunday at Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the amount of fake people who came in every single Sunday, and you could point them out because
Yes.
they ended up getting really dressed up to go and see an
Right.
open house.
Yeah.
Right.
And they always had a story.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, they would always start talking about themselves. Oh, I sold this business, and now I'm looking for this. And,
Right.
my price range is $7 million, and
You nailed it.
But they start explaining too much.
Right.
And the real people walked in. I noticed.
Right.
Really understated.
Yeah.
Would never want to talk to you.
Right.
When you ask their information, they'd say, I'll sign in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they feel secure. They feel confident. I feel like anyone that tries to put on an act as if they're rich, they start portraying themselves in the eye of someone who would think they are rich, you know? So if they're putting on flashy clothes and doing whatever, they're going to be like, oh, look at me.
And that's it. They really
Right.
just didn't want to be bothered.
Correct.
But they'd more walk in and out with a bit of confidence
Yeah.
to them. And I
There you
also
go.
noticed that sometimes the poorest dressed people
Right.
were the richest.
Right.
The dude who's walking in with
Yeah.
flip flops, kind of a dirty white T-shirt and sweatpants.
Yeah.
He's the one with like $200 million.
Correct. In some cases, but he's flashing money in other places. He's going over
Yep.
there. Everybody got a plan. That person that was muttering nonsense when they walked through there, they thought they're gonna wake up and they're gonna come up and they're gonna tell a story about how they're this and how they're that. And you see that, and it doesn't resonate. You're an open house, you get to the point, it is what it is. You don't know me, I don't know you. I might have $1 million or $1 trillion or what have you. I don't know. But this is the house, you're buying it or you're not. It makes sense. The shit that makes sense. The shit that doesn't. And people
Okay.
professional scam artists, after some people like, oh, I'm embarrassed, I got caught being a fraud, and they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And some people like, oh, I know why I got caught. Let me adjust my strategy.
A lot of Instagram gurus, a lot of course sellers.
I'm gonna come in there on some. I know that he's thinking that in his head. Then I'll come in there with the flip flops and and I'll even have my friend come up to you and say you dropped this and it's some expensive whatever. A scam. They'll fool you. There's lots of crazy scams out there, man. There's lots of people that if they invest their energy into fraud, they will
They'll do a good job of
these
it.
filters that you're noting.
Yeah. It's interesting too. People would even tie up properties in escrow. I've noticed they would claim they sent a wire transfer, but then one of the digits was like mixed by mistake.
Right.
And it's like, oh well, I sent this deposit for the down payment on the house. We already have a signed deal.
Yeah.
Now I gotta wait to get that back. And then a week goes by. I'm still waiting to get it back. They send it again. Something went wrong.
And
Oh, I
what's
need to-
the advantage of doing all this
I've
bullshit?
never figured it out.
Right.
I think it's the feeling of importance,
Right.
or they
Probably.
think maybe I'm gonna hustle this deal over here and like get the money for it, or maybe I could have a friend come.
There's
I
gotta
don't
be
know,
Make
an
the seller more
but
distressed.
but
or
it's
something,
happened
and-
multiple times.
There's a reason
and I
for
don't
it.
know. Different people. There's never been a scam. It's
Right.
mostly the people I think wanting
Scam.
attention.
Right. They want attention. Yeah. I mean, in Beverly Hills in LA, They want to be a part of that life and a part of that top, but they're not.
What about different levels of wealth and how?
Why is it always that stereotype though? I feel like there's a lot of people out there that would get their bag and move to the middle of fucking buttfuck nowhere, Nebraska or Utah, and just build their big ass crib in the middle of nowhere, and their neighbor is like 3 miles down. There's a lot of people that do that, and their houses cost a lot less. But I guess, I mean, I see it. People want to be around. They want to be involved in the clout. They want to show off what they can get.
Purchase items from you. For example, if you have someone maybe worth like 200 million, are they buying crazy iced out watches versus someone that's maybe worth like 5 million? Are they buying different sorts of jewelry?
Yeah.
Is there like a difference in terms of jewelry preferences that you notice?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Of course, there's a difference in preferences, but for you, you're distinctly asking a person with a couple of million what their taste is versus a person with vast amounts of money.
Yeah, like for example, vast amounts of money. Maybe they're doing something because they're actually passionate, rather than like getting a crazy iced out.
Yeah, there's not much of a passion. You know what I'm saying? You got more money. You want to show it off. You want,
Yeah, you either want it or
be
you
at the
don't.
casino and you want to do this and you want to do that. It's mostly for women, okay, and signaling wealth.
Okay.
Or whatever, and it's also for a good look or whatever it might be. But that depends on the individual.
I understand the watches. It's just I would never use one. Like everyone just uses their phone, If I were inclined to buy a watch and it's all iced out, I would want to use it more, obviously, since I, paid 250 racks or maybe more. I don't know what they pay for those watches, that are diamonds or gold, whatever. I would just feel like I would keep using my phone to tell the time. I get like Cuban link chains and jewelry like that, maybe some earrings, whatever. But a watch, I feel like I would never catch myself using it.
But they're looking for the status. So whether they have the 1 million or the 2, if it's their first watch, they might get an iced out this or a big bezel that.
Right.
But if it's their...
Don't watches lose value when you ice them out? Like if you get a bust down Rollie and you ice it out with diamonds and it's all engraved and stuff, doesn't it lose value?
If they've been buying for a long time, they're going to get that rare piece that says, I know what I'm doing.
At least the
Patek
resale
Philippe,
value.
Whatever, with the moon phase.
How often do people come to you and not able to afford the jewelry? Or they're on a payment plan and they just charge you to a credit card and they can't afford this thing.
Afterpay,
the average,
Klarna, there you go.
The person, it happens enough. It's not that they can't afford it. They're buying something for $1,500 or $2,500. So how can they not afford it? If they have a steady job and can make a payment, relatively they can afford it. And what they're buying, they're buying. If they're buying the right piece of jewelry, they're doing the right thing. If you bought a piece of jewelry that was heavy in gold in the year 2004 when I started, even if you paid overprice, the gold price was $350 an ounce and now it's $3,500 more or less. So you 10x'd your money. And if you overpay double, you 5x'd it or whatever. Yeah. So you can't lose on that. So some people are buying, getting played, man. And some people are not. Some people are.
I guess there are actual people out there that make an income off of reselling watches and jewelry. Although I don't know how long that's gonna last for, compared to any other investment like crypto or the stock market. But I guess there's some good money there.
The question and the nature of the question. Of course, some people are overcommitting themselves on they can't do. Some people are on drugs they can't quit. Some people are buying to look like this. Some people are buying to look like that. And there is some millionaires that scrounge every dollar, or millionaires or whatever, and look like bums. But I never really noticed them. And those are people with psychotic issues, really. But still, they spend their money somewhere.
I saw this one video a long time ago of Michael Jackson walking through an antique shop, I think it was.
I saw that video.
And he's like,
I'm
and
taking
I'll take
it.
this. And
I'll
then
take
yes,
that.
but I just remember watching this video and he just seemed to not care whatsoever about the price. Do you have buyers like that? What is your favorite type of buyer?
Oh, that's the favorite type of buyer right there.
And people do that. They walk into the shop and they're just like, oh yeah, 10 grand,
I
whatever.
had a guy
It's like fuck you money.
Okay.
That is fuck you money.
This guy, his father,
Bro's about to spend a whole mortgage on a fucking piece of jewelry. That's crazy.
selling military equipment to Iraq with government contracts from the U.S. So he was manufacturing in Ukraine before long ago, and that's his father. And he was shipping it over there and just milking money, whatever. And his father put him on a big allowance, okay, because something in the family. Not gonna get into it. Put him on a big allowance. Guy came in, bought 3 Rolexes for me, gifted me one, and the other one to another member of my staff, and the other member of my staff. And then he started giving out gold bars to the other members of my staff.
Bro was giving out gold like in Minecraft when you go into the fucking nether. Bro was just tossing it out.
So this is a customer that came in bought 3 watches from me, and gifted them to me. Okay, that's my favorite customer, bro.
Where is he now?
He's chilling. He's chilling somewhere. He hit me up the other day. I mean, his allowance went down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's more normal, more focused. But he was burning through. He was burning through a $250,000.
And I guess when you come from a rich family, that's why generational wealth doesn't last, because the moment you raise a kid, their only reality is wealth or feeling rich and entitled to that money. They're never going to understand what it took to obtain. So they start spending it like if it's never going to run out. And it might, it might not, like depending on the family. But like I said, if they don't understand what it took, even know how their parents got that money, they're going to freak out. They're going to lose their shit once they lose all of it.
$500,000 a month, just having a good time. Shorties in every state or in every city, you know, buying jewelry for them, going over there, seeing them, and just burning through money and just going full tilt.
Do you think he was happier back then or happier now?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't particularly happiness. It was just, you know, like the Emperor Nero would be doing or something like that. He was just pushing it to the limit.
How often do people...
I don't know how happy that makes
Well,
you.
you wouldn't, like I said, they feel entitled to that money. And if that's their only reality, they're not going to feel any consequences of spending that money until they can't keep getting it, or they can't keep spending it, or they start losing things. Like 6ix9ine when he lost all his jewelry and stuff, and they were putting it for auction. When stuff like that happens, you kind of get humbled. At least I would like to think you do. When you lose what you think you couldn't lose, you enter a new like mentality of trying to grind for it back. And once you understood what that grind took to get the things that you lost, fuck, I hope that shit makes sense. But yeah.
The shop and not even ask the price of things, and they're just like, yeah, that I like that a lot, I'll buy that.
Sometimes, you know, but I didn't build my business. I didn't build my business around luxury clients. I always, you know, again, and I'm an immigrant from Azerbaijan. You know, I didn't have to grow up around money. I didn't even know people had money. So I had a mentality of value. I had a mentality of, you know, I want to sell this, and that was not good to build a jewelry business around. Now I'm going to build a mentality, a jewelry brand around other things. And then I'm going to be able to charge and push and attract the type of client. In order to do that, I need inventory. I need to be able to capitalize.
Right.
Right? You know, I got like $7 million, $8 million worth of inventory. I need to get to 20 million, 25 million, deploy that properly, and then I'll have the inventory to attract the client that's going to just buy. Doesn't happen all the time. I have normal clients that buy great jewelry that has a good value with a fair markup, because that's what I adjusted my business to. The sucking for money is not my style. I'm not going to be like, he's got the money, he's got the watch, he's got this, he's got that. Built a jewelry business, and you know.
Well, I mean, he has an advantage though. Just like, I think, who is it? Johnny Dang. He does the same thing, sells jewelry to rappers. Once they start making content and they get famous, that itself makes their jewelry more valuable. So they can put the fair markup, retail and above whatever their markup is. And then because people know him, they're willing to go to his store and pay more rather than any other store that would have the same piece of jewelry.
Is out there. The more I act the way I'm acting now, the better that business goes. So that's why it encourages this type of behavior. But I don't like to worship money, man. I don't like it. And even though I chose this business as a young person, the snobs that come in there, or the snobbery, like I never attract that type of customer that they want to be like, I got this, or, you know, the guy that chrome hearts, he's got, you know, yeah, sure, there's some kid comes in that's spending his parents' money from Beijing. You know what I'm saying? And he's wearing the latest Chrome Hearts shirt and the latest Chrome Hearts this.
They feel
and
entitled
he wants
to it.
To get the thing, to this and that. He's just trying to look for some status, and he's playing that game. The game of I'm rich and I'm get the out of here. Is my take. Go deal with my sales guy and let him blow smoke up your. That's the answer.
Is there anyone you won't sell to?
No, I'll sell to anybody who's, you know, respectful and who is thoughtful.
Okay. Well, shit. I didn't know it was going to end like that, but I guess that's the end of the video.
We're gonna have the intros. The intros